Hello everyone. So I hope your studies are going well. And today what we are going to discuss is Institute has conducted a mock test for the September exam, and we are going to discuss that paper today. So generally when it comes to theory questions, I just either skip them or go a little fast with them. And the rest of the questions obviously we'll be discussing. So coming to the first question, as you know, question number one is compulsory, and question number one is basically from first is from Contract Act, then you have Companies Act, and then you have Partnership Act. Mr. Chetan was traveling to Manali with his wife by a bus of Himalayan Travels Private Limited. Due to some technical defaults in the bus, the driver has to stop the bus in midway in cold night. The driver advised the passengers shelter of the nearest to get to the shelter of in the nearest hotel, which was at a distance of only 1 kilometer from that place. The wife of Mr. Chetan caught cold and fell ill due to being asked to get down, and she had to walk in cold night to reach the hotel. Mr. Chetan filed the suit against Himalayan Travels Private Limited for damages for the personal inconvenience, hotel charges, and medical treatment of his wife. So, first of all, can they claim damages for personal inconvenience and hotel charges? Yes. Why? Because in this given situation, it is because of the fault of that, what you say, bus company. Can you also claim the medical treatment? No. Remote damages can be claimed. Remote damages can never be claimed. Special damages can be claimed when there is a notice. Ordinary damage which arose naturally can be claimed, and remote damages can never be claimed. Here, because of this, what was the ordinary damage that the parties suffered? They had to book a hotel room and the personal inconvenience that they can claim as a ordinary damage. But medical treatment is a remote damage which cannot be claimed. Sahil sells by auction to Rohan a horse which Sahil knows to be unsound. Sahil knows to be unsound. The horse appears to be sound, but Sahil knows about the unsoundness of the horse. Is the contract valid in all of the following cases? If Sahil says nothing about the unsoundness of the horse to Rohan, well, silence is not fraud. You in auction sale, the goods are there on display. You see, you like, you purchase. I don't have to tell you anything about the goods. So silence is not fraud. And since silence is not fraud, here the contract is absolutely valid. If Sahil says nothing about it to Rohan, who is Sahil's son. Now, when it comes to a family member, the scenario totally changes. If it is about a family member, then it is my duty to disclose. And there, if I fail to disclose, then it is considered as fraud. So, in this case, it is the duty of the person keeping silent to speak, right? Keeping silent to speak. So, here, when he does not speak, it is fraud and the contract is voidable. If Rohan says to Sahil, if you do not deny it, I shall assume that the horse is sound. Sahil says nothing. So here, silence equals to speech. And when silence equals to speech, then silence is fraud. The contract is what? Voidable. ABC Limited has allotted equity shares with voting rights to XYZ Limited worth 15 crores during the financial year. After that, the total paid up share capital of ABC is 100 crores. Define the meaning of associate and will it be called associate? The total capital is 100 crores and I have given you how much? 15 crores, which is 15%. Now, to become associate, you need to hold minimum how much? At least 20%. So, is it associate? No. MTK Private Limited is a company registered under the Companies Act. The company did not start its business till 31st July. Identify which category MT. Okay, this is an inactive company. Am I right or not? Yes, this is an inactive company. So, when I say inactive company, what do I actually mean by an inactive company? Which has no business transactions, right? Which has no business transactions which has no business transactions, right, or no business operations, or which had no significant accounting transactions in the past 2 financial year. What is significant accounting transaction? Anything other than this four: payment of fees to the registrar, payment to fulfill the requirements of this act or any other act, allotment of shares to fulfill the requirement of this act, and any expense for maintenance of office and records. So other than this four, everything is a significant accounting transaction, or which had not filed its annual returns or financial statement for the two preceding financial year. What is the difference between partnership and co-ownership as per Indian Partnership Act? So, partnership arises by agreement, whereas co-ownership arises either by agreement or by operation of law. Partnership, there has to be a business co-ownership. Business may not be there. Partners are agents of each other. Co-ownership, they may not be. They are not, sorry, agents of each other. Discuss the provisions regarding personal profits earned by a partner. If a partner earns any personal profits from any transaction of the firm or by using the name or assets of the firm or from any personal business competing with the firm, he must give a share of it to the other partners. Mr. Manoj was running a shop selling good quality washing machines. Mr. Vivek came to the shop and asked for washing machine which is suitable for washing woolen clothes. Mr. Manoj showed him. So description as per the need of the buyer, showed him. That means what? Sample. Particular machine which Mr. Vivek liked and paid for it. Later on, when the machine was delivered to Mr. Vivek's house, it was found that it was the wrong machine and also unfit for washing woolen clothes. He immediately informed Mr. Manoj about the delivery of the wrong machine. Mr. Manoj refused to exchange the same, saying that the contract was complete after the delivery of the washing machine. When the sale is made by sample as well as description, the sample must be described as it is known on the market and the goods must correspond to both sample and description. Here, the goods are not as per what the sample that was shown to him, and it was also not as per the description. So, is Mr. Manoj is right in refusing to exchange? No. He is under an obligation to take the machine back. Mr. Suraj sold his business of cotton production to a cotton production company, CPL Private Limited, in which he has held all the shares except one which was held by his wife. He is also the creditor of the company for a certain amount. He also got the insurance of the stock of cotton of CPL Private Limited in his own name and not in the name of the company. So, this property of the company belongs to the company and not to the member. He should not have taken the insurance in his own name. It should be in the name of the company, right? We have the same case, Makora versus New Assurance Limited. After 1 month, all the stock of the cotton were destroyed by fire. Suraj filed the claim for such loss with the insurance company. State with reason, is the insurance company liable to pay? No. Insurance Act says that insurance must be taken only in the name of the person who owns the property. Here, the property belongs to the company. The rightful person to take the insurance is the company. Insurance was taken in the personal name of Suraj. Not correct. So they can refuse. Alpha School is a Section 8 company which started imparting education on 1/4/2015 with the sole objective. Now, if you have come to the video hoping that ma'am is going to explain in detail, so guys, I've already explained. I'm just discussing the questions. I'm just discussing the provisions applicable. That's it. Alpha School in a Section 8 is a Section 8 company which started imparting education with the sole objective of providing education to the children of the weaker society either free of cost or at a very nominal fee depending upon the financial condition of their parents. However, it came to the knowledge of the central government that the said school was operating by violating the objects. Describe what are the powers when the company when a Section 8 company violates its objects, then in that case the central government can do what do you say, they can revoke the license. And when they revoke the license, three things can happen. They can either order the company to convert into a private or a public company. They can order for amalgamation or for winding up. What is designated partner, which has a partner which has been designated as per Section 7? Is it mandatory? Yes. Every LLP must have at least two designated partners who should be individuals, and at least one should be a resident of India. Resident of India means who has stayed in India for not less than 120 days in the financial year. And when we talk about designated partner, when all the partners are individuals, any two individuals can be designated partner. When all the partners are body corporates, any two nominees of the body corporates can be designated partner. And if it's a combination of individuals and body corporate, any two individuals or nominee can be the designated partner. Messrs. ABC and Associate is a partnership firm with AB and C as senior partners engaged in the business of curtain manufacturing and exporting to foreign countries. They inducted Mr. P, an expert in the field of curtain manufacturing, as their partner. On 10th Jan, Mr. P was blamed for unauthorized activities and thus expelled. So, for expulsion, we obviously the provision is expulsion. The most important is what? Good faith. Correct or not? He was engaged in unauthorized activities. That means I can say the expulsion is in the interest of partnership. But obviously, for expulsion, we need three things. One thing is there, examine by the approval of all of the remaining factors. Examine whether, so you here you cannot just write about good faith. You'll first write the 3 points and then you will talk about what is good faith in details. Examine whether the action of the partners was justified or not. Now, see, I can see partnership interest is there, but I don't know whether notice was given to him or not because nothing is given. Now, if I write no, it's not correct because I can see partnership interest is there. But if I write yes, also, it's not absolutely correct because we don't know. So, the right way to write is yes, it is valid provided he was given a notice and an opportunity of being heard. What should have been the factors to be kept in mind prior to expelling? So, all the three factors of good faith, partnership interest, serve with a notice, opportunity of being heard. Power Tech Limited was registered as a public company. There are 230 members in the company as noted below. Directors and their relatives, employees, the board wants to convert into a private company. Also advise whether a reduction in the number of members is necessary. So, what is the number of members? Let's count. This will be counted, yes. Employees are not counted. Ex employees, it's given shares were allotted when they were employees, not counted. Five couples holding shares, they will be five and five. Exactly 200. And in case of a private company, the numbers should not exceed 200. So, company is required to reduce the number of members? Absolutely. Popular Products Limited is a company incorporated in India having a total share capital of 20 crores. The share capital comprises of 20 lakh equity shares of 100 each. Okay. The equity shares is 20 lakh. Delight Product Limited and Happy Product Limited hold. So this is Popular Product. Delight Product and Happy Product hold 2 lakh 50 and 3 lakh 50. Another company, Cheerful Product, hold 2 lakh 50 in Popular Product. Jovial Limited is the holding of all the above, right? So, can Jovial Limited be termed as a subsidiary of Popular? So, Jovial Limited is a what do you say? Uh, sorry. State the related provision in favor of your answer if Jovial Limited controls the composition. So, first, let's see how much is the holding. 250, 350, 250. That means 8 lakh 50,000 is the holding. 20 lakh. If you hold more than 20 lakh, more than half, that is more than 10 lakh, then you would be holding subsidiary. So, as per the holding, you're not holding or subsidiary. But they are saying if Jovial Limited controls the composition of the directors of Popular Product, can you call Jovial Limited as a subsidiary company? No, it will be holding because when Jovial Limited is controlling the composition of Popular Products ka board of directors, it is having a control. So Jovial is the holding and not subsidiary. Who is considered as an agent under India? Agent is a person who does the work for another. What are the duties and obligations? So duties and obligations, he must fulfill the orders of the fulfill the orders or are given as per the obligations. Then he should take care. He should use his reasonable care and skill while doing the work. He should give proper accounts. If he has received money on behalf of the principal, he should give the money back to the principal. He should not delegate the work to a sub agent. He should not, what do you say? He should not make secret profits from the, what do you say, the principal. And he should not contract in his own name on behalf of the principal. That is, he should say that I am acting as a agent. He should not disclose the confidential information of the principal to anyone. If he has any information which can change the decision of the principal, he should actually disclose those information. Mr. Om Kashyap was a big business man of Pune city having two sons and one married daughter. He decided to gift his house to his daughter. Now, the moment you will see gift word, no, people will think, completed gift, completed gift. For this purpose, he called his lawyer at his house and made a written document for such gift. The lawyer advised him to get the transfer document registered. When they both were going for the registration of the document, they met with an accident and both of them died. Later, the daughter found the document and claimed the house. Can she claim the house? No, because it was never registered. Now, ma'am, why is it not completed gifts? In completed gifts, first I promised to gift you. Here, Om Kashif did not promise to give the house to the daughter. So there was no promise to give. So it will obviously not come under completed gifts. Okay? It is what? Natural love and affection. Due to urgent need, Pawan approached Raman and asked him for the money. Need of money of 3 lakh. Pawan approached Raman and asked him for the money. Raman lent this money on the guarantee of Suraj and Tarun. Pawan makes default in payment and Suraj pays full amount to Raman. Suraj afterwards claimed contribution from Tarun, but Tarun refused to contribute on the basis there is no contract between Suraj and him. As far as the co-sureties are concerned, when they have made a promise to contribute in any amount, then in that case they are liable to contribute their share, irrespective of whether there is a contract between them or not. Here, as between Suraj and Tarun, even if there is no contract, Tarun is still liable to contribute his share to Suraj. So, can he escape his liability? No. Moving on to the next question, state the difference between promissory note and bill of exchange. First, give the definition. It's an unconditional promise to pay, whereas this is an unconditional order signed by the maker directing a certain person. Here, promissory note, there are two parties. In bill of exchange, there are three parties. In promissory note, the maker's liability is primary, whereas in bill of exchange, the drawer's liability is secondary and conditional. Then, in case of promissory note, acceptance is not needed, whereas bill of exchange needs to be accepted. Promissory note can never be made payable to bearer, whereas bill of exchange can be made payable to bearer. What do you understand by law? Also elaborate the procedure of making law. Law are set of rules and regulations for the smooth running of for the welfare of the society. What is the procedure for making the law? The bill is laid down in both the houses of the parliament, first Lok Sabha, then Rajya Sabha. Then it is signed by the president. Then it is notified by in the Gazette of India by the government. Once notified in the Gazette of India, it becomes an act. Simran went to a jewelry shop and asked the salesgirl to show her diamond bangles with ruby stones. The jeweler told her that he has a lot of designs of diamond bangles, but with red stones. If she chooses for herself any special design of diamond bangles with red stone, they will replace red stones with ruby stones. But for the ruby stones, they will charge some extra cost. Simran selected a beautiful set of designer bangles and paid for them. She also paid the extra cost of ruby stones. The jeweler requested her to come back a week later for the delivery. When she came back to take the delivery, she noticed that due to ruby stones, the design has been completely disturbed. Now she wants to terminate the contract and thus asked the jeweler to give her money back, but he refused. In case of agreement to sell, where ownership will be transferred after the fulfillment of certain condition, then in that case, if the goods are not as per the desire of the sell buyer, the buyer is not bound to keep the goods. Now, the design was not as she wanted. So she has a right to reject. So can the shopkeeper, state with reasons whether Simran can recover? Yes, because the goods are not as per the design. What would be your answer if the jeweler says that he can change the design but he will charge extra cost for the same? I've already paid extra cost. She is not liable to pay. Why will I pay extra cost again? So, not liable to pay extra cost. Okay. Subject to the agreement, state the rules that should be followed in settling. Subject to the agreement, the settlement of accounts is done in the following order. First, we settle the outside liabilities, then partners advance, then partners loan, and then if there is any surplus, that is distributed by the partners. In case of deficit, if the firm's account is not enough to pay the capital, it's a deficit. Partners will contribute in their profit sharing ratio. And if a partner has both personal as well as partnership debts, his personal property will be first used to pay his personal debts and then partnership debts. State the legal position of a minor under the Indian Partnership Act after attaining majority. When he opts to become a partner, decides if he decides not to become a partner, he is no longer a part of the firm. He will take his share and leave the firm. If he decides to become a partner, his rights will remain the same as it was when he was a beneficiary, and he will have unlimited liability. But from the day he was admitted to the benefits of the firm. How is a contract discharged under the Indian Contract Act, and what are the different ways in which obligations created by contract may come to an end? So, a contract is discharged by six different ways: discharged by performance, actual or attempted; discharged by lapse of time; discharged by operation of law; discharged by mutual consent, novation, rescission, remission, alteration. Then, discharged by impossibility of performance. It can be existing at the time of contract or supervening impossibility. And last, by breach, which can be actual or anticipatory. M owes money to N. Therefore, he makes a promissory note for the amount in favor of N. For safety of transmission, he cuts the notes in half and posts one half to N. He then changes his mind and calls upon N to return half of the note which he has sent. N requires M to send the other half of the note. Decide how rights of the. Okay. First of all, whenever we draw a bill of a promissory note or a bill of exchange, whatever, whenever we draw a negotiable instrument, the negotiable instrument has to be completed by delivery. Delivery can be actual or symbolic. Oh, sorry, actual or constructive. And when I say completed by delivery, it should be a delivery of the full instrument and not half instrument. It should be a delivery of the full instrument and not half instrument. Here, when he delivers half of the instrument, it's not a valid delivery. So, can M actually demand the instrument back? Yes. So, N cannot refuse, whereas M can ask for the return of the half part, whereas N cannot ask for the delivery of the next part. Rama executes a promissory note in the following form: I promise to pay a sum of 10,000 after 3 months. Decide whether. No, it's not a valid promissory note. You are payable to whom? You have not written the name. And when the name of the pay is not given, it is a bearer instrument. And we already know, as per RBI notification, a promissory note is never payable to bearer. So it's not a valid promissory note. What constitutes a contingent contract? What are its essential elements? So, what constitutes a contingent contract is a contract to do or not to do something on the happening or non happening of a future uncertain event. So, what are the essentials of a contingent contract? It is always dependent on a future uncertain event. The event must be a collateral event and it is never dependent on the will of the promisor. Right? Describe in brief the rights of the buyer against. So, what are the rights of the buyer against the seller? First, damages for non-delivery of goods. Then second is damages sue for specific performance. Then the third one is if there is a breach of warranty or if there is a breach of condition treated as a breach of warranty, he can sue for damages. And if there is a breach of condition or he has paid advance money but he does not get the goods, he can sue for the refund of the price. I hope this helps you. It gives you a motivation and you are getting, more. Okay, I know what to do. I know the answers. Right? Happy learning. I just hope you keep studying well. Happy learning and stay motivated. Thank you so much.